Death is usually the end of a story. It is the period at the end of a sentence. But what happens when death is a clerical error? What happens when the law decides you are dead, but your heart is still beating, your lungs are still breathing, and you are screaming to be heard? Welcome to Oak Haven, Indiana. This is the story of Arthur Vance, the man who became a ghost while he was still alive. The year was 1988. Arthur Vance was drowning, not in water, but in debt. Alcohol had blurred his days, and unpaid bills had consumed his nights. One Tuesday morning, he walked out to buy a pack of cigarettes, and simply never came back. Years passed. Seasons changed. His wife, waiting in silence, eventually had to move on. For the sake of their children, for the sake of survival, she petitioned the court. In 1996, the gavel fell. Arthur Vance was declared legally dead. But Arthur wasn't dead. He had been running from his debts, running from himself. He drifted through states, working odd jobs, living in the shadows. But in 2008, nearly 20 years later, the shadows lifted. Arthur wanted to come home. He wanted his life back.
Hi, good morning. I need to renew my driver's license. It's been a long time. My name is Arthur Vance.
Vance, Arthur. Date of birth, August 3rd, 1955?
Yes, that's me.
Sir, there must be a mistake. The system has this social security number flagged.
Flagged? For what? Unpaid parking tickets? I can pay them.
No, sir, flagged as deceased. According to the state of Indiana, Arthur Vance died in 1996.
What? No, that's... Look at me. I'm standing right here. I'm breathing. I'm Arthur Vance.
Dismissive, robotic, strict. I can see you are standing there, sir, but the computer says you are dead. I cannot issue a license to a deceased person. Next in line, please.
Arthur didn't give up. He hired a lawyer. He took his case to the probate court of Oak Haven. He stood before Judge Holloway, the very man who had signed his death certificate years ago. The courtroom was packed. Everyone saw Arthur. He was flesh and blood. But the law is not about eyes. It is about dates.
Your Honor, please. I know I made mistakes. I ran away. I was a coward. But I am here now. I want to work. I want to see a doctor. I can't do anything because the state says I don't exist. Look at me. I am alive.
Mr. Vance, I see you. I see a man standing in my courtroom who is obviously alive. Biologically, there is no doubt. You are breathing. You are speaking.
And fix it, please. Just sign the paper.
I cannot. The law in this state is very specific. Section 21.08 of the revised code. A death ruling can only be overturned within 3 years of the judgment.
3 years? But I wasn't here then.
That is precisely the issue. The 3-year window closed in 1999. We are now in 2008. The statute of limitations has expired. Legally, Mr. Vance, that deadline is more real than your pulse.
So what are you saying? I'm a ghost? I'm a walking corpse? How can a deadline be more important than a human life?
We need finality in the law, Mr. Vance. If we overturn this, your wife would have to return every cent of the survivor benefits she received to raise your children. The chaos would be immeasurable. My hands are tied. Case dismissed. You remain legally deceased.
Arthur Vance walked out of that courtroom into the sunlight. A man who existed in physics but not in law. He couldn't get a driver's license. He couldn't get health insurance. He couldn't vote. He was a citizen of nowhere. Very realistic, documentary style, direct to the listener. This story sounds like fiction, a dark satire of bureaucracy. But it isn't. The man's real name was Donald Miller. The place was Hancock County, Ohio. The year of the trial was 2013. Judge Alan Davis actually looked at Donald Miller and said, "I don't know where that leaves you, but you're still deceased as far as the law is concerned." Donald Miller, the man who was too late to be alive, had to live the rest of his days as a legal ghost. Because sometimes, in the eyes of the system, a deadline on a piece of paper is heavier than the beat of a human heart. This was Courtroom Tea. Case closed.